everyone. I'm Krista Kim, and you are watching K12 CyberTalk, where we want you to stay aware to show you care. We are very excited that you are here today, and we have some very enlightening content. Just a quick reminder, all of these recordings are available to watch on our website at www.k12cybertalk.org. Make sure to follow our social media at K12 CyberTalk for more updates. For today's show, we have a surprise guest for the interview segment, so I'm very excited for that. First, we will start off with Cyber Bites from Amy, followed by our Tech Corner by Julie, followed by our interview conducted by Carter, and finally the opportunity section with me, so every one of you guys can partake in.
Hey guys, welcome back to Cyber Bites. For today's news, we'll be going over a recent new Android spyware discovered on April 4th, 2022. This new spyware disguises itself as a system component, meaning that it appears as if it's part of the phone's default setting. This particular spyware disguised itself behind the name Process Manager. It can access many critical functions of your phone, including using the camera and the microphone to secretly record the user. The app, with a package name com.remote.app, the package name being the actual name that identifies the app on someone's device, establishes a connection with a remote command and control server with IP address 82.146.35.240, which actually, interesting enough, was previously known to belong to the Russia-based hacking group known as Turla. Lab 52, the Threat Intelligence Center of the larger group S2 Grupo, an international cybersecurity company, when conducting research on the spyware, discovered that the Process Manager spyware, when installed on a phone, can upload information taken from that device and upload it onto a third-party device. It's not clear how the spyware is distributed, but once it is installed, it hides itself with a gear-shaped icon and by acting as a legitimate part of the Android system. The gear-shaped symbol is a common one in the world of technology to represent the settings of a device or just settings in general. The application, when open, will ask the user to give it permission to access many services. This includes screen lock attempts, locking the screen, setting the device global proxy, setting the screen lock password expiration, setting storage encryption, and the ability to disable the camera. There are a number of other requests it also made, including obtaining the GPS data, which is the phone's location, the network status of the phone, the Wi-Fi information, full access to the camera for photo and video capture, to modify audio, access the person's call log and their contact list, and SMS access to their SIM card, access to their audio recorder, permission to send SMS messages, and permission to stop a device from hibernating or locking. After the spyware application runs, the gear icon disappears, and it continues to run in the background of your phone. It starts to abuse all of its newly granted permissions to do a number of the things that were mentioned above. However, it does show in the activities section of the notification bar of an Android device. This information, which is taken in a JSON format, is sent to that remote server. Despite the earlier mention of the remote server being affiliated with Turla, the Russian-based hacker group, Lab 52 says it doesn't have sufficient enough evidence to definitively link this Process Manager malware to that group. The only way to really prevent this kind of thing from happening to you, as it's not clear how the spyware is distributed onto the user's phone, is to carefully check the permissions that you're granting to an application. For example, if an application asks for that many permissions that I previously mentioned, including camera and audio access, and access to your location, it should be an obvious no, and there should be a revoking of that access. That's all for me from Cyber Bites.
Hello, everyone. The topic of this technology segment is Interland. Interland is a game created by Google to train yourself to be more safer and smarter online. Specifically, we will be exploring the Reality River, where you will learn not to fall for scams and phishing attacks. The first thing you're going to do is go to beinternetawesome.withgoogle.com, and then you'll reach the website for Interland. One of the adventures is Reality River, Don't Fall for Fake. Click play, and then you'll be transported to an island. It says the river that runs through Interland flows with fact and fiction. But things aren't always as they seem. Then it says cross the rapids by using your best judgment. Watch out for fishers lurking in the water, they'll try to trick you. To get to the other side of the river, correctly answer questions on each platform. So you are on this piece of land, and then the first question will appear. It says that you get an email with a hilarious subject line that is obviously a scam. Click play, and then you have a few options. The first one is delete it and forget it. The next one is LOL, forward it to your friends for a laugh, but tell them not to click on anything. And the last one says avoid clicking any links and mark it as spam. I think that's the right answer. So I click my space bar, and then I have reached another safe pot of land. So now I've received 30 points. And then it says I have 15 seconds for my next question. So it says someone online asks for your personal questions that make you feel uncomfortable. Click play. The first one says, try best to answer it and wrap up the convo. Take a screenshot and tell an adult, and ignore it. So the correct answer would be the one in the middle. And that is correct, and I received 30 points. Then the third question appears. An email from your school administrator says your attendance record needs to be verified with your school's social security number, or you could be suspended. The first one says reply and give them your information to avoid a suspension. The first one says check the email address to see if it's really your school admin, then run it by an adult. And the last one says reply to the email and tell them that you'll bring it in person. So the correct answer would be the one in the middle. And that's correct. And we've received 30 points. Then it says your parents give you permission to buy a video game online, as long as the site is safe. How can you tell if it's secure? Click play, and then the first one says the site prompts you to sign in with a password. The next one says the site says it has a secure checkout. And the last one says the URL with HTTPS on your browser shows a green lock symbol. That's the right answer. So then you've reached a safe pot of land. So now you've received 30 points. Question 5 says you get a chain email from a friend daring you to forward it to 10 friends in order to win a really cool phone. Click play, and then it says that one of your options is to delete the email and let your friend know they may have been hacked. To send it to 10 friends, it could be fake, but why not give it a try? And the last one says, why send it to 10 when you can send it to 20? So I think the first one would be correct. And that's correct. And I have received 30 points. So for this one, it's a timed one with 15 seconds. Which email address looks like it came from the right person? This one does not look right because Gmail is not a thing. This one looks like the best one because it says edu, and this one has too many characters. So now you've received 30 more points, and the next question appears. You really want to download a fun and new game, but it has no reviews and something about it seems a little off. Click play, and then the first option says, tough call. When in doubt, talk it out with an adult. See what your friends think, and download it. It seems safe. I think the right answer would be the first one. And now I received 30 points because that is correct. Question 8 says you sign into your email from the library computer. What should you do to make sure your account is safe? The first one says sign out when you're done, do both, and use the browser's private or incognito mode. I would do the middle. And that is correct. And I've received 30 more points. This one is a timed one. Some friends want to prank the biggest jokester in your group by creating a fake chat account and pretending to be them. Just do nothing. Join on the fun. It's okay if it's just a joke. And voice your concern and step away from the prank. That one would be the correct one. And I received 30 more points. And the last question says, look closely, which of these badges is the mark of a secure site? The thumbs up, the green lock, or the check mark. The correct answer would be a green lock. On any secure site, there'll usually be a green lock when it says HTTPS, and that's how you know it's a safe site. So now you cross the other side of the river and you have completed the test. And then after that, there is this exam you can take, which will load. And it says that it's important to be alert online. So I use clues to help me tell the difference between what's real and fake. That's correct. And then the test continues, and this will really help expand your knowledge of cybersecurity, learn more, and be more aware of what's online, and to tell the difference between stuff that is fake and real so you don't get trapped and you don't get scammed. That concludes the technology segment. Thank you so much for listening.
Hello and welcome to the K12 CyberTalk interview segment. I'm Carter, and today we have an excellent guest, Will Marco. So Will, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, and thank you so much for having me on, Carter. Really excited to have this conversation. I come from a company called IMSI Burning Glass, which is a company that uses big data to better understand the workforce. And the team that I lead uses our data to better understand what trends are occurring in the cybersecurity workforce in terms of the skills and the jobs that are being demanded across different industries and different locations. We also power a tool called cyberseek.org that provides supply and demand information about cybersecurity jobs across the country. So really excited to have this conversation today.
Awesome. That sounds, extremely interesting and extremely important today. So without further ado, let's talk a little bit more about that. So without giving away any of your secrets, how do you utilize tech to determine trends in the job market?
It's a great question. And I'd say without technology, I'd be out of a job pretty quick. We use a number of different types of analytics technologies and various tools to first capture the data that we need in order to understand what's happening in the job market. We spend spiders out to about 50,000 plus different job boards that pull job postings down. We then run them through a set of machine learning algorithms that first take out any duplicated job postings that show up in many different websites. We make sure we're not double or triple counting. And then we also use those algorithms to essentially read each job description as you or I would, and looks at what are the job titles, what are the skill sets, who are the employers, and dozens of other pieces of information about each job that can be very valuable when trying to understand what kinds of jobs and skills are in demand across the market.
So that sounds a little bit involved on the back end, but I know you put out a visualization of all that data you achieve, you find. So after, you've been doing this for some time, your company has, Have you seen like this visualization you're putting out? Have you seen that affect the cybersecurity field? Have you noticed any trends because of your work?
Good question. And the visualization that you're referring to, cyberseek.org, shows cybersecurity jobs and skills across the country, gives us line of sight into what supply and demand looks like down to the metro level. And I think we've definitely seen some interesting trends since we put that out. One is there continues to be very robust demand across the US. And there are many efforts that are built off of data in CyberSeek that are trying to address that and trying to build the next generation of cybersecurity workers. So in just the past few years, we've seen a large uptick in the number of training programs focused on cybersecurity. We've also seen a large uptick in the types of skills that they are providing and that they are training their students. There's been much more emphasis on emerging skills such as cloud security or secure software development, which in many cases has been directly linked to the kinds of trends that we're seeing in the data. And so I think that we're definitely seeing the information out there about the cybersecurity workforce influencing the types of jobs that employers are demanding, as well as the types of skills that training providers are teaching, which in turn impacts the kinds of opportunities that are available to anybody who's interested in the field.
So speaking of interesting trends, have you noticed any geographical trends with respect to the cybersecurity industry?
So cyber jobs are in demand pretty much everywhere, but there are some interesting trends as it relates to the types of cybersecurity jobs. They're not one type of job. There are many different types of cybersecurity jobs. And in some cases, the jobs that are in demand in different regions are not just cybersecurity jobs per se. They might be networking jobs or systems jobs or software development jobs that have a strong cybersecurity component. And so when you look at different regions across the US, you will often see a different flavor of cybersecurity jobs are in demand. In a big metro area, such as where I'm located in Boston, there are many very specialized cybersecurity roles, such as cybersecurity architects and different types of engineers. But if you go to somewhere like Duluth, Minnesota, we see that the majority of jobs with a cybersecurity component are broader IT jobs that have a range of IT-related responsibilities that include cybersecurity. And so I think that's why it's so important for students and job seekers to really understand what are the types of cybersecurity jobs and the types of cybersecurity skills that are most demanded in their region so that they can prepare for them.
Amazing. Well, it seems like CyberSeek and Burning Glass, they really emphasize that there is a lot of opportunity out there. So to our viewers, keep that in mind. And there seems to be a lot of great jobs out there. As we know, the pandemic has affected us very dearly in all sorts of ways. But with respect to CyberSeek and Burning Glass, have you noticed a large increase in remote work opportunities?
I wouldn't just call it an increase. I'd call it an explosion. When we first hit the pandemic in 2020, the number of cybersecurity job openings that said they were open to remote workers doubled. And then in 2021, it doubled again. So what that means is that we see about a 300% increase in the number of cybersecurity jobs that are looking for remote workers. So that's opening up many different types of opportunities in many different types of locations for workers. But it's also giving employers a way of finding talent for jobs that they were really struggling to fill, and they continue to struggle to fill. But we see at least that looking for remote cybersecurity workers is another way that employers are trying to fill a very difficult to fill position, which opens up many new types of opportunities for job seekers.
Amazing. So our audience, pertains to K12, as in K12 CyberTalk. And so I have to ask, how can, high school, even middle school students utilize your resources?
So I would say the first thing is go to cyberseek.org. That has a ton of free information. You don't have to even put in your email address or anything like that. It's completely open, and you can see down to the level of your individual city what the job opportunities look like. You can see what are the top jobs in cybersecurity. You can see what types of skills or tasks are associated with them. You can see what types of certifications are in demand that you might want to think about getting if you eventually look to transition into a career in cybersecurity. And then the tool also has a career pathway so that you can really map out what are the entry-level opportunities that you can get as a first job, and then what are the skills and credentials that you can add on to qualify for higher paying, more advanced roles. So I think that going to cyberseek.org is probably going to be your first best bet to really better understand what are the types of job opportunities in cybersecurity. But then also we have information about local training providers that you can look at so that you can see who are the colleges or the community colleges even, or the targeted training providers related to cybersecurity in your region where you can go and learn those skills and prepare for a career in cyber.
Awesome. So for the students, who might be interested in what you just said, checking out cyberseek.org, how early do you think they could start planning for, their academic life and even their career?
Never too early. I would say start thinking as soon as you realize you might be interested in cybersecurity or any other field for that matter. Start doing some research. Start thinking about what types of activities really interest you. Start thinking about what types of industries interest you, and then start thinking about what types of skills you might need to learn in order to qualify for those jobs. And maybe it's a case that you find your calling early and you realize what you want to do very early on, and that's great. But there's also a strong likelihood that plans change. When I was younger, my plans were to become a professional boxer, and that definitely didn't pan out, which is probably for the best, at least for my brain cells. But I think that just getting that muscle memory around researching different types of career opportunities and learning about the types of jobs and the types of skills and the types of educational opportunities that help you prepare for those jobs and skills is really going to be a valuable skill no matter where your career takes you in the future.
So to those students, who might want to go into the cybersecurity field and are looking to start now, how do you think they can get involved?
It's a great question. I think there are a lot of different things they can do. I think first, I mentioned you can go to cyberseek.org and learn more about career opportunities in cybersecurity. You can also just start by seeing if your current school offers classes, at least in IT more broadly. If they have a cybersecurity component, even better, but at least dipping your toe in the IT water is a great place to start. There are also different types of cyber-related competitions. So you can check out Cyber Patriot, for example, which has cyber competitions at the K-12 level. And you can also just start watching and reading everything you possibly can online, or look for books related to the field. Really, any research about cyber is going to be a good place to start. You can't go wrong by even just doing a quick Google search about cybersecurity jobs and what's out there. So I think those are just a few of the things you can do, but really the sky's the limit, and just taking that first step and starting down that path is, I think, the most important thing.
And lastly, with respect to cyberseek.org and other tools you might offer, other resources, where can interested students look for education opportunities, and how can they stay up to date with their skills?
It's a great question. And on the education side of things, as I mentioned, cyberseek.org has a visualization that shows you where there are training providers offering cybersecurity courses or cybersecurity programs down to your individual city. So you can see across the country where you can go to learn those skills. I think even if you're currently in school, you can leverage the resources that you have. You can talk to your guidance counselors, or even if you have an IT instructor, they can probably point you in the right direction. And again, Google is always your friend. You can always look online to see where there might be training opportunities. Either at the if you know you want to go to a university, you can look to see what are the opportunities at a university. If you're planning to go to a community college, many community colleges have excellent programs as well in cybersecurity. And then in some cases, you can even dip your toe in the water by getting a certification, such as CompTIA's Security Plus, which many employers value and gives you a great overview of the skills that you need to start your career in cybersecurity. And in terms of the specific skill sets that you can focus on, really having a broad base of foundational IT knowledge is the best place to start in cybersecurity. Understanding networking and systems is great. If you want to dip your toe into software development and engineering, that's also fantastic. And then eventually, as you start to learn more about IT more generally, you can start to learn about cybersecurity specifically. That can range from general network security skills or high-level information security skills down to cryptography or different algorithms, or even how Python can be used to automate different cybersecurity processes. So really the sky's the limit. I'd say start with a foundational set of IT and cyber skills, and continuously build on to that with other skill sets, like you were building something out of Legos. And I think you'll find many opportunities to learn new things and to advance your career in the field.
Well, as a budding cybersecurity student interested in a cybersecurity career, I could say that is fantastic advice that I will definitely be taking to heart. Do you have any last words to any last resources or words or whatever to our audience?
I would just reiterate that cyber is a fantastic field to get into, and it's one of the most important fields for more people to get into. I'm sure that it's no surprise to many people listening to this that we don't have close to enough cybersecurity workers. In fact, our own data on CyberSeek show we only have about 68% of the workers we need to fill all of the demand for cybersecurity jobs in the US. So there's tons of opportunity. It's highly lucrative, but it's also a really mission-driven field. And I think that the people in cybersecurity really know that they're doing important work to secure our most valuable digital assets. And I think there aren't a whole lot of other fields that really give you that same sense of purpose. So it's a really fantastic field. It's constantly evolving. You're always going to need to learn new skill sets, and that can make it really exciting. So I think it's really a wonderful career path to go down, and I definitely encourage more people to seriously consider a career in cyber.
Well, thank you so much, Will, for joining us. This was an excellent talk, and I really appreciate the information you gave to our audience.
It's my pleasure, Carter, and thank you so much for having me.
Hello, everyone. I'm Carissa, and today I will be delivering the opportunity segment where I'll keep you up to speed on any amazing possibilities available to you, such as scholarships, internships, conferences, or anything else you can participate in or apply for. The very first thing we have on our opportunity segment is attending an AFA Cyber Camp, which is hosted by Cyber Patriot. Attending the AFA Cyber Camp is the best way to get introduced to the world of cybersecurity, which will help you hone in on the fundamentals of cybersecurity and train you with the hands-on material. Many of the students who actually attend the AFA Cyber Camps actually end up participating in Cyber Patriot National Youth Cyber Defense Competition during the school year. These cyber camps are actually hosted in the summer, so you can take them when you're off of school. The different cyber camps include the standard cyber camp and the advanced cyber camp, and you can easily find a cyber camp available near towards you. Moreover, what's even best is that there's no set age requirement for either the standard or advanced cyber camps. Due to COVID-19, there will still be some online instructions, so during this summer, some of the cyber camps will be hosted virtually and some will be hosted in person. So you can check out your local cyber camp and see which one they offer. Moreover, if you or anyone that you know is interested in attending the AFA Cyber Camp, you can email their office at afacybercamps@us cyberpatriot.org to be added to a list of people who will be notified once cyber camps, locations, and dates are published online. These camp locations and dates will be posted on the very first week of May, so make sure to stay tuned for that. The second opportunities we have is the SANS Technology Institute. Due to the bleeding edge of cybersecurity, the SANS Technology Institute provides career-focused undergrad and grad degrees. Moreover, they're one of the largest cybersecurity teaching-related websites in the country and is the only institution that is dedicated solely to cybersecurity. They offer bachelor's degrees, undergrad certificates, master's degrees, and grad certificates. Moreover, there's so many different opportunities available through SANS, such as learning the latest skills and techniques from the world's top cybersecurity practitioners. Moreover, you have the option to complete the programs live or through rewindable online courses. Moreover, these programs are designed to fit into your busy life and work schedule, which means that it's very flexible. Moreover, you can meet amazing people who are part of the cybersecurity workforce, and you can make connections with some of the most talented students and teachers in the industry. You can easily take SANS courses and receive GIAC certifications. And these certifications are also ranked #1 as the most valued certifications that are related to cybersecurity when selecting job candidates for interviews. So if you're interested, you can join an online info session on Thursday, April 28th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time at sans.edu. And just to learn more information on receiving certificates or getting your degree with cybersecurity, all you have to do is go on sans.edu. Also, don't worry if you did not catch all the links or information. No need to write everything down as we have everything online. You can check out our blog posts at K12CyberTalk.org to see all the opportunities and information listed down below so you can apply. Good luck, and thank you for watching K12 CyberTalk. Unfortunately, this is the end of the show, but we hope you enjoyed it. Our next show will be posted on K12CyberTalk.org, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and we hope to catch you next time. Stay cyber safe, everyone!